you are listening to, I say you are listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my. Thank you, Charlie. We had a little glitch there for a few seconds in the beginning, but I see that you got it taken care of. I was sitting here wondering what in the world is going on. But we're live, we're on the air, and you're listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. And whether you're down the street, around the corner, somewhere across America, or somewhere around this world, we want to invite you to come on in, be part of the show. We even have seats put out tonight because before everyone gets to dancing later on in the show, we're going to set everybody down, and I'll guarantee you by the time it's all said and done, you'll be sitting on the edge of your chair. So I do want to say this. Tonight's show is being sponsored by Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter, and they invite you to come to their ring bomb party and have a good time. Just go in and mingle with the people. If you've never been to one, I'm sure that you're going to have a great time with Maxine and Walter. That's Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter, and we appreciate them so very, very much. We've got some good things happening around here, and tonight we have a very special guest. Excuse me. We have a very special guest. His name is Essi Bagheri, and he has an incredible story to share with each and every one of us. But right before we go to Essi, I want to remind you that you can listen to this show on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. It bounces off of Twitter. Let me see. It goes out there everywhere. So if you don't get to hear it all tonight, or if you know someone that needs to listen to this, and I think everyone does, give them a call, give them a shout-out. They can always come back. They can listen to it over and over and over again. You can even download it. Don't cost you nothing. You can download it for free, and you can use it for your enjoyment and listen to it whenever you want. Now, with all that being said, I want to introduce to you a man that has a very intriguing story to tell, a man that is spreading hope, and the good Lord only knows that we need lots of hope in our society and around the world. A man that has written a book entitled Shattered Soul, and soon, hopefully, there'll be a movie made about this. So with no further ado, Essi, welcome to the George Espenlaub Show.
Thank you for having me, George. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. You are now making your way to Los Angeles, California, and you're going to have a whole bunch of meetings with a whole bunch of folks down there. Is that right?
That's correct. I'm meeting some producers, executives, agents in Los Angeles. That's correct.
You have an incredible story to tell, and my goodness, time just won't permit. It just won't permit the telling of the whole story in one sitting. But I'd like to kind of try to go back to your childhood. Uh, you're from Iran. Just kind of go back and touch on your childhood and what led up to the fact that you became a child soldier.
Of course, George. Yeah, I was born in Iran, and it was I was separated from my mom when I was 6 months old, and I was raised by my stepmother, and I find out that my stepmother wasn't my real mom when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and that was a shock. You're talking about trauma from a very young age, and it's been a challenging and interesting road at the same time, George, because you know that was the beginning of my life, and I had a and the reason I talk about my story, I talked about my story so many times that I don't know where to start. But in this show, I want to let your audience, to hear the real story. And the real story is that doesn't matter where we come from, what we've done, and where we've been. There's always hope. And when I was 6 years old, I met my mom. It was challenging. Before age of 10, so many unfortunate events happened to me physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually abused in so many different. Just imagine being 10 years old or 8, 9 years old and going through all the young trauma. And I thought, okay, that's enough. That's going to be the end of my pain. But oh boy, that was the beginning of my life, and so many things happened, George, and that until like 10 years old, and there's more to it, which we're going to talk more.
There was you became a child soldier during the Iraq-Iran war. Is that correct?
That's correct, George. Well, it was. I'm pretty sure majority of your audience would know about the revolution in Iran, 1979. And at that time, I was 13 years old. And giving you a little background of where I came from already before age of 10, I was really restless, irritable, discontent, and I really wanted to feel belong to someone. And then revolution happened, and then I start, I basically drawn to Islamic Republic, and became part of called Basij, which is part of Revolution Guard at that time, and age of 13, and I start going to training camp, to mosque, to, basically at that time everything changed. Everything became religious and Islam, and I was ready for I was ready for change. Whatever, I needed to just belong to somewhere, and that's what happened. I got in a training camp, George, and age of 13, and then. Of course, me and a couple of my friends, same age, 13, 14 years old, we got into the mission to dismantle landmines. In other words, become a suicide bomb, suicide mission, to go walk in a landmine and dismantle landmines so actual troop can come and attack Iraqis.
You touched on something there that you said, and I'll paraphrase it. You said that you were looking for something to belong to, and isn't isn't that so true? Because there are millions and millions and millions, men, women, boys, and girls, that have such an emptiness on the inside, and they're looking for something to belong to, and whether it's right or whether it's wrong, somebody's going to influence that individual, and somebody is going to say, this is what you need, and they're going to feel like they belong. Do you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. I've been talking about a lot regarding suicide bombing that's happening last 6 months or last year, and also talking about the. I understand like a person become a mass, shooting, and goes to school and basically just kill innocent people. I can relate to the state of mind a person goes and blow himself up. I can relate to because it's not because when we were born, when I was like a child, like a baby, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't grow up to was born to say one day I'm gonna come and go and blow myself in a landmine, or a person who's a suicide bomber, or a person who goes to school and committed atrocity. Didn't come. So what happened is there is more into it, George. There is the way we grow up, the way we the parenting, the way that loneliness, the way that there's so many aspects in is to this situation that makes a person, a child or a teenager, to join a gang, and it's all because of emptiness inside, because all of not feeling good enough. It all is inside damage, which is trauma, depression, anxiety, and on and on and on. And that's the unfortunate. That's my message to that there is hope. And I do work with a lot of kids and to inspire them, to love them. Doesn't matter what's the family situation is like, and that's why I speak in the schools to inspire people, because I'm pretty sure in any schools that I go and talk to, or any time I talk in a stage, there are some people in audience that they felt the exact same that I felt.
Yes, and there's no lack of those kind of people. I had a man ask me one time. It's been years ago, and I've never forgotten it, and I think of it often. He said, "Are we born to hate?" And I said, "No, sir. We are born to love. We are taught to hate."
Yes.
Somehow, some way, in some shape or form, we're taught to hate. And that emptiness that you was talking about, that emptiness is going to be filled with something, whether it's good or whether it's bad. During your time as a child soldier, how long were you in that service?
Great question, George. I was in a training camp almost 6 months, but together, the actual intense training was 3 months. But since I joined and got into the training, it was altogether 6 months before I was in a battlefield and seeing atrocity. So imagine, I would never thought before I went into the training camp that end of my training, I would volunteer, George, me and my friends, volunteer to go and walk in a landmine and blow ourselves to go to heaven. But after middle of the night, around 2 o'clock at night. There's bomb, there's bullet left and right, George. And I'm just a little kid, and I'm seeing atrocity. There's body all over the place. And I'm seeing my friend step in a landmine, few meters in front of me, and blow up into the pieces. And the impact of that explosion, George, threw me a few meters away. And then I suddenly realized that I don't want to do this. This is not right. I'm just a kid. But I couldn't go back, George, and say, hey, I'm sorry, I changed my mind. So the only choice that I had, George, at that time, I pull up my gun and I shot myself in the arm. Mm-hmm. And every time that I talked about that, George, the pain that went through my vein from one side and shattered and exploded to my other side of the arm, it gives me goosebumps and headache. But you know what? That was the beginning of my misery, so you call it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want you to do. You can do it while you're listening to the show or after the show or sometime that's convenient to you. But I want you to go to this website, donotgiveupnow.com. You know, it's all small letters. donotgiveupnow.com. And there, that's Essi's website, and you can read all about it. You can see the pictures, and his book cover is up there, Shattered Soul. And I'm assuming that we can find Shattered Soul most anywhere, Essi?
Yes, you can find it, it's on Amazon. It's on my, my website. You can order it from my website. But yes, if you Google my name, it comes, or Shattered Soul, the true story of Charles Soldier. But as you said, the best way you can go to my website, take a look at some of the pictures that from me in the war, and yes, that's the best way they can order.
That's donotgiveupnow.com. donotgiveupnow.com. And the name of the book is Shattered Soul. So do yourself a favor and go to that website one more time, donotgiveupnow.com. And you can get the book Shattered Soul even on Kindle. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's on paperback and Kindle, but it's like Do Not Give Up Now. Also, Shattered Soul, the true story of Charles Soldier. But if you go to my website, that takes you to the Amazon. Yes.
Okay, and on Essi's website there are pictures, like he said. There's a video on there, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. And Essi, after the battles and after you shot yourself in your arm, and you said just a few moments ago, that's when your misery started. What did you mean by that?
Well, it's I always, George, every time that I went through something, like that was a turning point of my life. Like, I believe at that point, the reason I did what I did, and to when I after I shot myself, they throw me in a after I lost a lot of blood, and they throw me in the back of the tank with other kids, and then when I my physical, like, I became conscious, the feel of guilt, shame, remorse, and imagine I'm living in an Islamic country that that everybody, my family, everybody, friends, the people, some of the people that I went to war with, they thought that I'm a hero, and I felt guilt, shame, remorse, and until that the pain was so much that I wanted to commit suicide. This is why after 6 years after I went after the war, after my injury, and then what I found out, my cousin, they were drinking at the time, and I started drinking. So I believe, and what happened when I took that drink, just calmed the nerves, and since then I went to something happened that the Iranian government, we went to Syria, Damascus to pray, and they went to pray to prophet, and I went to the bar and I got drunk, and they found out that I got drunk, but I couldn't. And then it's a huge no for Islam at the time. In early revolution, it was very bad. So I had to escape from Iran. So I escaped from Iran to Istanbul. From Istanbul, I escaped to East Germany. From East Germany, middle of the night, I jumped in a running train, and I went to West Germany. I became refugee in a refugee camp for 2.5 years, George.
So how old were you during this period?
During that period, I was 16 and a half, almost 17, because I was there in Iran for a few years before I went to. I was 17, and then I was while I was in Germany, George. I was again. I wanted to have a better life, but I still had all the landmines in me, in my mind and my heart, and I left the Iran and all the chaos that I was in, but I came to Germany, and I still had that feeling of not white enough, not black enough, not good enough, and I wanted to die every day, and that's when I started drinking and I started using drugs, and I just I was treated like there's a lot of racism. Someone came to me and said, what the F you doing in my country? And at that time I felt, I better kill myself. Nobody wants me, and feeling self-pity and poor me, and I was really in a bad place, George.
And that in itself, and going back to what I said earlier, there are millions and millions of people around the world that have those same feelings. I'm not good enough. There's no value to me. I don't fit. I don't belong. I'm not the right this and I'm not the right that. I can't measure up to this one, and I can't measure up to that one, and it's just a vicious cycle that's going on, and it goes round and round and round in your head, and it never shuts off, does it?
No, and that's why my message, especially when I talk to teenagers or new generation. See, we live in a generation, George, that technology, that I always talk about resilience because I have the life experience and overcoming a lot of things. And it's like people, if someone, they don't like their post, people get depressed. Our generation, they get depressed. Why people didn't like my post? And we become, subconscious about our body, our look. I am not tall enough. I'm not just all the negativity that I believe we are our own worst enemy.
Hmm.
And I talk about this in my book a lot.
And we are our own worst enemies. Uh, it's bad enough with the pressure that's being put on us from the outside. Uh, we certainly don't need to put the pressure on ourselves, but that's what happens when you're in those desolate places. When you're so low, you got to look up to see the bottom, and you're between a rock and a hard place. It's just one ugly, dark, deep hole that you find yourself in, and the message that you're sending, and the message that you're taking from place to place, and the message from the book uh, is shouting from the rooftop, and it needs to be shouted from the rooftop, regardless of how dark it is, regardless of the storm, regardless of what's going on in your life, there is still hope. And there's someone that will reach out and touch you if you'll just open your eyes. Is that right?
That's correct. My story is all about, after totally. And there's a saying in there, but it's a book that I'm reading a lot, and it talks no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we see how our benefits, how our experience benefit others. And when I was in Germany after 2.5 years, I had I had two choices: just die there or commit suicide, or one of my friends said, let's go to Canada. And I escaped, and I came to Canada in 1988. And, and again, I really, really wanted to be a good member of society. I really, really, George, wanted to change my life. Like, it's not lack of intention. It wasn't lack of intention. It was lack of support, especially from my own part. And what happened that I started drinking, I started using drugs again, and it's just my life got worse and worse to the point that, George, I've been to, 17 treatment centers, 29 detoxes, 2 psych wards. Like, you're talking about not giving up. Like, I knew that didn't help, dog. And then I joined a 12-step program, and then my life changed, and I saw outside help, I saw counseling, and I started helping other people, and I started feeling, oh my God, nothing gives you more satisfaction, George, when you help someone else. Because we are, as a human, we are selfish, and we are consumed with self, about ourselves, what we're getting. Every morning we open our eyes, it's all me, me, me. And my whole thing is now, how can I help you? How can I be in service?
And we had a gentleman on Wednesday night, and we was talking about this. Sometimes all it takes is a little pat on the back, a friendly handshake, a word of encouragement, and sometimes just a smile to let someone know that someone cares. And it's almost like the whole world lights up when that happens, and there's a ripple effect. And each and every one of us can reach out to someone, and we may never know. May never know the life that we touched and what happened from that time that we met that individual. And it might have only been a few seconds, a few minutes, maybe an hour. But that person's life was changed because of a small, simple gesture of love and the fact that you showed them that they care. Isn't that right?
That's correct. That's correct, George. I just had an example. As I told you, I'm driving I'm going to LA from Vancouver, and I'm close to Sacramento, and I went to this gas station, And then I came out and I see these people and like smile, open the door for each other. And I'm thinking, wow, like only people would get educated that, oh my God, it's like when you smile for someone else, you don't, like some of us don't know the impact we can have in other individuals. You see, because it's kindness. And like I'm from, like from Middle East, and like I am going to LA, and I have a lot of beautiful, like a brother and sister friends in Los Angeles, Americans that I love, and they love me. I have Canadian friends. I have and it's like only if other people in other world, or even here in Canada or US, we could educate ourselves to say, So I believe through going through all my story, George, I believe the answer is love. The answer to is love.
There's a lot of noise out here. We hear noise every day, all day long, and it's continual, and I call it just plain old noise. What we need to hear is to shut the noise off and listen for the message. And I think that'll make a world of difference, don't you?
Definitely. Right now I've been doing sometimes watching news, and people talk about war, and it's like sometimes like people sitting on a dinner table and watch the TV and seeing the atrocity and the killing, and at the same time they say, "Oh, honey, pass me the gravy or pass me the salt."
Yes.
But should not understand the devastation of war. I'm talking about, I seen it. Like, I've been there. And it's like, sometimes we just talk about it. It's like, oh, war. Oh, it's like, but we're talking about human life. And that's why also I'm working against war and promoting peace.
When you finally went to Canada and you said you was continually drinking and all those things, how long was it before? And you went through all the detoxes and the psych and all that other good stuff. How long was that bad journey?
Well, on my journey went to the first time that I went to a detox. I thought, honestly, they take me to detox, they're going to do a blood transfusion, change my blood, and I will be okay. Because I thought, when I was a baby, 6 months old, I used to cry, and my stepmom used to put opium in milk and melt it and give it to me to calm me down. So I thought it's going to be, when I go to detox, they're going to change my... I had no idea what was wrong with me. And as a result of that, I suffered more. And it was like almost 21 years ago, the first time that I entered into the recovery, and in and out, and not too much like flashback of the war, and see psychiatrists, and I didn't want to do, because it's hard. It's hard to work on you, to really sit down and deal with the pain and the chaos of past. Who likes to sit down and brings all the negativity in a table and look at it? Nobody. And as a result of that, I suffered. But over 5 years ago, my last time, I got to the point of gift of desperation. That, Essi, you know what? And I can't feel victim anymore. I can't sit here and say, poor me, and give me another drink or give me another drug. I want to kill the pain. I need help. So I start since psychiatrist. I went to detox. I joined the 12-step program. I started helping. I dived into taking care of myself, and I started believing power greater than myself, not the God that I raised with, not the God that I believed that I was in a battlefield. It's a loving, caring God that, I go to church now. I go to temple. I pray. I believe in everybody. I don't discriminate in anything. I believe whatever path anybody is looking for. That's great. And now I'm starting to trying to go to church and learn about Christianity, and I go to Buddhism and trying to learn about Buddhism, and on and on and on. And nothing is wrong with any religion. It's and what I learn is how we interpret it. That's make it tough.
Essie, while you was talking, I was thinking. There's an old song. It's been around for a number of years, and it's entitled this. When he reached down his hand for me, I was lost and undone without God or His Son. When he reached down his hand for me, and my brother, you've got a message. I'm telling you, and I'm sure other people have told you, you have a message that needs to be told, and thank goodness that you are telling it. And ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. Go to donotgiveupnow.com and get a hold of that book, Shattered Soul, and read it. If you're anything like me, of course, sometimes I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. But I was telling Essie on the phone the other day, I'm an avid reader. My wife's an avid reader, and sometimes, we'll get focused in, we'll get locked into something that we're reading, and before you know it, hours and hours have passed by. And I believe if you get locked in, get this book, Shattered Soul, get locked in, you'll find out and shut out all the noise and just focus. I think it'll have an impact on your life. Now, Essie, you are, and ladies and gentlemen, Essie is in his automobile, on his journey to Los Angeles, and he was so kind to come on the show tonight. He's been traveling all day. He's stopped, he's pulled over, and he's chatting with us. Now you're on your way to L.A., and as I told you off the air, this is a tremendous mission that you're on.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a journey that I have a purpose, now that all the pain and suffering and everything that I went through, George, now I feel that it wasn't a waste. It was unfortunate. It was traumatic. It was sad. It was heartache, but when I'm sitting with when I go and talk and speak to people and one-on-one, and I see the changes that in other people, the impact that I can have in so many different levels, from where I came from, being a refugee, from alcohol, drug addicted, from being basically all my experience brought me here in California now, close to Sacramento. I'm heading to LA to meet all these producers and agents, and who would have known, George? Who would have known that this could happen and you know what? And I believe that I'm just a messenger. That's it. I'm just a messenger, and I want to impact. I want to impact the world for better, for love, kindness, generosity, and nothing is more important to me.
I think, while I was listening to you say that, all of a sudden, as you said, all the pain and the hurt and the devastation, your heart must be filled with overwhelming gratitude. Is that right?
That's correct, George. Today, this is what I do, my daily. I get up, I bend on my knees, and I pray, and I ask God to direct my thinking, higher power, universe, whatever that people believe that. And then what I do, I count my blessing. I write gratitude list, and there is always things that we're grateful. In my case, I have so much to be grateful, and we can either be in gratitude or in fear. We can be in fear and gratitude at the same time. And the change in perspective. People used to talk about the glass is half full or half empty. It's like there's something about gratitude changes our chemical in our brain that makes magic.
So you've got to be in Los Angeles, on August 2nd? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I have to be. Yeah, I have to be in Los Angeles. There's a seminar, a conference I'm attending, as I said, with many people, decision-maker people, individuals that I'm going to meet. But before that, I'm meeting some friends, and I have some work to do before I attend that conference.
Wow. What an incredible journey. Ladies and gentlemen, donotgiveupnow.com. And the book is called Shattered Soul. Essi, my goodness, time just slips away, and there's so much. But ladies and gentlemen, we spoke off the air, and I asked Essi if, because I knew, and everyone else knows, that you can't cover this in one sitting. So he has graciously said that he will come back at a later date, and there'll be more. And I'm a firm believer that there will be good reports, great things happening. Essi, you are a prince of a man. I thank you from the depths of my heart for taking the time out, for driving and pulling off and taking the time out to chat with us. We'll push this thing. We'll promote it. We'll put it out there. And I wish you only the best, my friend, for things that are going to transpire. And I believe they're going to be good things that will transpire.
Thank you.
And we want you
Thank you very much, George.
And we want you to come back, Essi.
Definitely. You can't, you bet. I would love to talk to you more. And it's been a pleasure being on your show. And thank you from bottom of my heart for your time and your energy and sincerity that you're trying to help. And I can tell. And hopefully talk to you soon, George. Thank you very much for having me in your show.
Yes, sir. And you've got my number and all that good stuff, and I'll send you the link and all that good stuff right after the show.
Great. Thank you very much, George. Have a great evening.
All right, buddy. You stay safe.
Yes. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. That, and we only, it was like a stone going across water. When you skip the stone across water, you're hitting this, you're hitting that, and you're hitting that. It's hard to go into depth. That's why I encourage you, do not give up now.com. Do not give up now.com. Child soldier during the Iraqi and the Iranian war that lasted 6-7 years, and thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people on both sides lost their life. My, oh my. What a journey. What a journey. Get that book, Shattered Soul. Do not give up now.com. Wow. Let's take a breather. We've got the custodians here at the Funny Farm. They are unloading. I mean, they are folding up the chairs. Some people were even standing up. They wasn't even sitting on the edge of their chairs. They were standing up. Did everybody like that? Yeah, I did. And the chat room was so quiet. My oh my. But that was a tremendous interview with Essi Bagheri, and he will be back. And you watch and see. You watch and see. He's going to meet with the movie executives, agents, directors, producers, like you said, all the decision makers. So he's going amongst them, and and I believe great things are going to happen. Shattered Soul. You can get it in Kindle, paperback, at Amazon, and go to donotgiveupnow.com. And with that, I see the custodians have got all the chairs pushed back. Miss Ernestine is leading the clients out onto the dance floor. I think that there is a cloud of insanity that's beginning to fall upon this group. And so let's get it on. It's Friday night at the Funny Farm, so go. Miss Ernestine was really getting it. Hey, listen, if you just fell in, stumbled in, somebody pushed you in, or perhaps you just tuned in, you're listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. We don't have no tangible address. We never did. We don't, and we never will. We don't care because this is our world. We live here, and as I've said over the years, you know what? It's a lot safer in our world than it is in yours. And now, we have two goals in mind here at the Funny Farm. Number one, we want to bring a smile to your face, and it'll be great if we can just make you laugh. And the second goal is we want to make you just as goofy as the rest of us. Yeah. It's Friday night at the Funny Farm, and my, oh my, did we have a great time with Mr. Essi Bagheri. I'll get it right. I was trying to choke, cough, and almost sneezed at the same time. But my, oh my. Now listen, if you know someone that didn't hear this show tonight, you tell them. You go to Spreaker.com or just go to Facebook and bounce off of there on the George Espenlaub Show. And you can listen to this show over again. You can download it if you want to. We're heard on iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, with Bounce Off Twitter. I mean, it's just going everywhere. We send it up to Pittsburgh, and the man up there takes it, and he he sends it out there. I really don't know where we're at, other than the ones that I just mentioned. But anyhow, we want you to have a good time. It's Friday night. I know that you worked hard all week long. Now you're just chilling out, sitting back, doing whatever. But we had a request from someone. Someone really, really likes this song, and you know what? I like it too. Oh, yeah, let's give it up. Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. Are you having fun tonight? My. We've had a great show. Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll have my good friend, Mike Velarde, from way down there in Florida. He'll be with us. We've had Mike on before. I think we had Mike on a couple times in the past. I'm telling you what, you talk about the Energized Bunny. Mike Velarde, he's the Energized Bunny. And when he comes, he brings it. I'm telling you, when he comes, he brings it. And when he's coming this time, he'll be bringing it. So you join us. We'll put some things up on the page as time approaches. But that's Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're so happy that Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter is sponsoring the show tonight. And I just want to share with you, if you've never been to a ring bomb party, and they do their ring bomb parties live on Facebook, just go on there and look up Unicorn Chasing, Chasin, Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter. They do their shows live. They're on a bunch of times, several times a week, so on and so forth. And just go there, and when you get there, if you heard it on this radio show, just tell them Pop sent you, Espenlaub sent you, whatever you want to call me, and they'll appreciate it very, very much. They reveal some beautiful, beautiful rings on there, and the gang that comes, printing there almost every time. I mean, you talk about bringing it when you're coming. Well, yes, indeedy. That gang brings it when they come. And you'll just be invited into the gang and the whole 9 yards. So look them up. Unicorn Chasing with Maxine and Walter. And we've got some other sponsors that's going to be doing this thing. And we'll get them out there and put all that stuff up on the page. Wow. Time has just flown by tonight. Just like it always does. I want to say thank you. Thank you so very, very much for you that have tuned in. All of our shows are live. Every one of them are live. There's nothing recorded. I mean, what you hear is what you get. sometimes, sometimes we need to film this thing so we can show you what goes on behind the scenes or behind the mic and over on the soundboard, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because there's some real blooper doopers that takes place. But nonetheless, we're live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that listened in tonight. If you listened in tonight, tell a friend, call them up, instant message them. I mean, whichever way you can reach out and touch people, tell them to listen to this man's story. We only touched the tip of the iceberg. And go to donotgiveupnow.com and read all about it and check out his book, Shattered Soul. You can get it on Amazon. I think he said it's in paperback, Kindle form, so on and so forth. Don'tGiveUpNow.com. Wow, we've had another tremendous week. Good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. We'll have another one coming up next week. My old buddy, he's a lot of fun, very serious about certain issues, but he's still a lot of fun. He is energized, so don't miss it on Monday night at 8 p.m. My good friend, Mike Velarde, from way down there in the state of Florida. I'm looking forward to it. I've had several phone conversations with him, and like always, he just thrills me when I listen to him talk. He talks with such passion, and he's got a purpose, so you don't want to miss it. Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My friend and soon-to-be yours, Mike Velarde. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all of your kind words, for all of your support. And listen, every one of us here at the Funny Farm, I'm going to try to get down the line. Charlie, Miss Ernestine, Harvey, Gertrude Duflicky, Wilbur, Travis, Pammy, the upper driver, Marcia, chief cook and bottle washer, Cindy, the chief psychiatrist, and all the rest, Dorothy, the opera singer, and it goes on and on and on and on. The whole gang here at the Funny Farm, we just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Look, we get serious, but then we really let it go. We crank it up and get it going, and we want you to join in. We've got some dramatizations coming up, just a whole lot. I mean, the whole ball of wax. You never know. I don't even know what's going to take place sometimes on this crazy radio show. But until the next time, wherever you're at, this is George Espenlaub challenging you. Be kind to one another, love one another, help one another. Get somebody to listen to this interview that we had tonight. If it's nighttime wherever you're at, you have a good night. If it's daytime, you go ahead and have you a fine, fine day. But regardless, wherever you're at, stay safe, pay attention, and just love everybody, even if it's just for a little bit. Alrighty? Alright, my friends. Until Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is George Espenlaub saying God bless you. I hope he keeps you in the center of his hands. And until then, good night, ladies and gentlemen.